This is John Ruffle, and I just woke up from a very interesting dream, which I believe is one of those fairly uncommon dreams that I get, which is of spiritual significance as of from the Lord. And we were by a big lake. I won't say we, I was observing a big lake, and there were 3 boat houses off to my left, and there was a overgrowth down to the waterfront, and I couldn't see clearly the overgrowth to the 3 boat houses, and I assumed there was a slipway or something from each of these houses down to the river, down to the water. So that was the first scene. It all looked a little bit dilapidated. And then the scene changed. I was in front of the boat houses, and the one to my right, which had been the one nearest to me in the dream, people came along to try to get the boats at the boat out of this right-hand boathouse, and they realized they had to clear some of the overgrowth from the slipway to get the boats out. And so they worked with the sweat of their hands to clear the slipway. It wasn't badly overgrown, so it didn't take too long, and they cleared the slipway. That enabled that boat to be launched. Didn't actually see the launching of the boat, but it was clear to launch. Then I went over to my vision was then moved to the left-hand slipway. So I skipped over the middle one, and I went to the left-hand one. And to my surprise, there wasn't any overgrowth there, and they were able to open the boathouse doors, and thus the boat was able to go down the slipway. Although I didn't actually observe it going down the slipway, so that surprised me, because it didn't need a lot of work to get it onto the water of the lake. Then my attention went to the middle boathouse, which was larger than the other 2, and I could see it was very overgrown, right to the door of it. And so the people began hacking away to clear the path out of the boathouse down to the lake, when they realized that actually the boathouse wasn't aligned with the slipway at all. It was off to the right, on my right, by about a width of the boathouse, so some feet over to the right. And so they were hacking away for no reason. So then they began hacking away at the actual slipway, which was not aligned with the boat. And they thought, well, if we do a zigzag type thing, we can get the boat out the boathouse and then sideways and then down to the proper slipway if we clear it. But they soon realized that was an absolutely impossible situation, that it had to either go straight down or not at all, and they abandoned the exercise. And at that point, the boathouse was basically, I can't tell you if it was destroyed or what happened. They abandoned, and it looked like it just went into disrepair. And meanwhile, lots of people came out of the boathouse and came down the slipway and managed to get into the lake. So these were people who were unlike the labourers. These were people who I could tell had the Spirit of God and were led of the Lord. And then the dream ended, and I woke up. And the first thing about the dream is it was a very coherent dream. It wasn't one of these dreams from flashing about left, right and centre. It was just in 2 scenes, the initial scene and then the scene trying to get the boats out. I think I didn't see the boats actually emerge, any of them, Maybe that's because the Lord will call me to heaven before this actually occurs. I don't know. Could be. But I see it as the boathouse on the right. I was seeing as the churches which are Bible based, that are fairly traditional, but they're Bible based, and I don't want to name denominations, but they had the easiest time. Well, no, they didn't have the easiest time. They had a little bit of hacking to do. These people can hack. Then to the right, so to the left, we had the boathouse that didn't need any clearing of the debris at all. And I think that was probably the new church movements where there's a big emphasis on a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and baptism in the Holy Spirit. It reminds me of the wise and foolish virgins, and that was able to launch. In the middle one, I see it as the traditional churches, the Catholic, Orthodox, etc., Coptic perhaps, churches that have got so much tradition, and that got them off track slightly. So the people there, many of them, were not, the hierarchy was not ready to go down into the water, which of course represents the Spirit of God as well, and cleansing baptism. And so the people emerged out of the boathouse, this big boathouse, dilapidated one, and they made it individually into the water. And this, I think, ties in with an earlier dream I had last week, where I saw an earthquake hit the Vatican, and I saw amongst the debris the ascended saints of God just coming out of that and coming alive, and God was merciful to his people, and there were signs and wonders taking place through the saints of God who had prepared their hearts and washed their robes, and they were walking in union with Christ on the earth, but with a heavenly goal and a heavenly vision. And I saw that as a significant dream as well. So that's 2 dreams within 7 days. And I'm just recording this so that I've got a record of it. It's, I don't even know the date, sorry. It's the Monday, the 5th week of Lent, 2024. This is John Ruffle. Thanks for listening.